Guterres writes that the United Nations ended 2025 with a record of over $1.56 billion in outstanding fees, more than double the previous year. That has heightened its vulnerability to shortages and delays in collections in the year ahead. The UN's largest financial contributor, the United States, reduced its voluntary funding to several UN agencies and declined to make mandatory payments to the organization's regular and peacekeeping budgets last year. Also explained in his letter that collections for 2025 covered only 76.7% of assessments, nearly exhausting liquidity reserves despite reduced spending. He further warned that regular budget cash could run out by July, with another UN official explaining that if that were to happen, the organization would not be able to host the high-level UN General Assembly this September.
Point is to underscore the gravity of the current financial situation that the United Nations faces. The Secretary General has, as you know, repeatedly made clear the problem both of non-payment of dues by member states and the related problem of the UN being forced to repay member states for budget expenses that it does not budget money that it does not spend. So those two factors have put us on an unsustainable trajectory. The Secretary General had already warned last November that returning nearly $300 million in credits would trigger a liquidity crisis for our budget this year.
I'd love to.
UN officials explain that the United States now owed some $2.19 billion to the UN regular budget and an additional $1.8 billion to the peacekeeping operations budget, followed by Venezuela, which owed $38 million. While under UN financial rules, the organization has to return unspent monies to member states, even if it had never received the money to begin with, as they urged member states to change this requirement immediately.
Either the payments come in, or we're not compelled to spend to return the monies that we are not able to spend because we didn't receive the budget. Unless one of those two things happen, we face a real danger of running out of money.
According to UN rules, a country's contributions are assessed based on the size of each member state's economy, making the United States the largest contributor, followed by China. From the current U.S. ambassador to the UN, Mike Waltz, says President Trump had put the UN on a diet to help it reach its potential.
The people who handle our finances simply look at the numbers. And over the years, we've had to scramble and use whatever funds we have available to keep our operations going. Once our reserves have dwindled to this extent, our ability to do that has been undercut. For when it comes to paying, it's now or never.
Also says in his letter that they have delayed reimbursements to peacekeeping troop contributing countries, most of them developing nations, in order to keep operations going. Guterres explained that he could not overstate the urgency of the situation that the organization now faced, fundamentally overhaul the rules to prevent an imminent financial collapse. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.